As you guys saw in the title, this video is how to play with reality. Oh, guys, so this is my breakthrough that I want to share with you guys. So strap in, get your popcorn, your snacks, and your water, and your protein snacks ready. All right, guys, how to play with reality. So I actually came to the realization that we could kind of control reality in a sense. Yes, I know to some people this might sound crazy, but to other people who have a higher understanding of the nature of the universe, your consciousness, in this human experience existence could kind of understand, well, will probably understand what I'm saying. So I had a big realization. And it's like a lesson that God and the universe was trying to teach me, but I've learned my lesson and I'm here to share my lesson with you guys. All right, guys. So, the way that you play reality is with your state of mind, and that's it. It's that simple. What state of mind are you in most of the time? And this is how you could play with reality, just by being aware and being present of what your state of mind is in the present moment and in the moment, basically. So I've noticed that whenever I am in a high state of mind, meaning I'm happy, I feel joy, a lot of good things start to happen to me in my reality. Meaning people will give me gifts, I'll get discounts without even asking when I go to places, or sometimes when I get food. People are gonna charge me less for what I got. It's just amazing. It's amazing. And now the opposite. Whenever I feel bad, whenever something from the outside reality gets me upset and that starts to control my inner world, I see how that affects me, my inner world, and now the outside is starting to reflect what I'm feeling within me. So if I'm feeling angry, pissed off, I've noticed that people will start to treat me differently. And people will start to do things to get me either more annoyed or more pissed off. If I'm feeling angry, if my inner world is negative, people will start to do things to tick me more off. And you got to be aware of this. You got to be aware of this. And now I've came to the realization that I need to be more present and control my inner world. The outside world is a reflection of what's going on within yourself. And a lot of you guys may not like your present reality. And that's the whole point that the universe is trying to teach a lot of you individuals out here. God, Source is trying to teach you that despite the outer world, you need to control your inner world. You need to be in control of your inner world. That is one of the few things that you have control over, is your inner reality, your inner world. Is so important for you to become aware of the state of mind you're in. Now, another word for state of mind, we could substitute that word for attitude. Your attitude is going to help you. If you improve your attitude, it will help you to have a better, happier life. So let's talk about attitude. What is attitude? Now, shout out to Bob Proctor, because he really helped me to understand what attitude is. And I'm giving him credit because he's a legend. And yes, he said attitude is thoughts, feelings, and action. These three things make your attitude. Your thoughts, what are you thinking? Now, sometimes your guys' mind is thinking negative things and you're focusing on the negative things of things like people. You might, like, a person may be well, right? But you start to focus on their negative qualities. And now, because you're focusing on the negative qualities, that could be an indicator that you're actually focusing on negative things. And also on social media. Now, guys, what are you putting your attention on? You need to take control of your attention and your focus, and put your attention and focus on things that will help serve you and make you feel better. Now, in the internet world, guys, there is a lot of negativity, a lot of celebrity gossip, like Kanye West, and as you guys may know, sometimes it is entertaining. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes it is entertainment, but if you guys don't catch yourself in this negative action or habit, if you have this as a habit, if you watch the news, if you watch around with, if you're keeping up with just things that are just negative, it will affect your state of mind, and when that starts to control your state of mind, it's going to affect your reality. And now you're going throughout your whole day feeling bad and negative, and you're starting to cultivate this negative attitude because now you're seeing the world in a negative perspective, and now you're just going to be a magnet to negative things. And this is also where the law of attraction comes in. Now you're going to be attracting, now you're going to be in harmony, you're going to be at resonance with negative things. And now, because you've been misplacing your attention and focus, the only thing that you could attract into your life is negative things. And this is why it is so important for you to take control of your attention and focus, and to understand that you need to be disciplined with the stuff that you can control. Don't worry too much about the outside world, but understand that you are a powerful being. You are a powerful being. You could be, do, and have anything you want. So that's part of understanding that you could play with reality like this. Now that you know that where you place your attention and your focus, you could control your reality, and more beautiful, pleasant things can start to be attracted to you once you start to learn how to change your state of mind and your attitude. Now, your feelings, right? Your feelings are energy in motion. So this is why I say, when you're putting your focus and attention on negative things, now you're going to start to feel bad. I've noticed this. I become present when I'm either engaging in conversations where I know I shouldn't be engaging in, or I'm putting my attention on, I'm viewing things that don't serve me. Now that's going to affect my feelings. And you need to catch yourself if you're doing negative things, like habits maybe that make you feel shame and guilt. These are low frequency emotions that are going to hurt you. They're going to hurt you. And shame and guilt and angry, sadness, depression, all these things will keep you on a low vibration, you can say, in your feelings. And these are the feelings that you will be fluctuating. And you need to be careful and become present and aware of what is it that's causing you to feel this way. Like, what is it? Are you worrying about your situation financially? Well, don't worry. Stop worrying and trust the universe, trust God. You need to understand that we live in a abundance universe, in an abundance reality. God made this place for us to have enough, more than enough for our needs. So you need to study abundance, look up the word abundance, look up more videos on abundance, and understand that we live in an abundance universe. If you're worried about your financial situation, you could understand that you need to take your attention off worrying and place your attention on more prosperous things. You need to start to think and feel and act prosper, like a prosperous individual. You need to imagine yourself as the prosperous individual that you desire to be, and start acting like that individual. So, meaning this. So, I learned this, and it is true. I'm going to tell you guys my experience, right? So, shout out to this other YouTube named Bonton Cut, and I resonated when he said this. If you're a broke individual and you start to think like a broke person and start to act like a broke person, now you're going to be attracting more of that to make you feel more broke, more poor. So meaning this. Now, I don't want to judge nobody. I'm not here to judge nobody, but because I used to do this too. I used to do this too when I would go to, like, let's say Chipotle, right? This was, dude, I stopped this habit because I'm now thinking and acting like a wealthy person. Now, a lot of people, instead of paying the $2 and something, right, for a fountain drink, they want to get something for free, so they ask for a water cup. Right? Dude, I used to do this too. Dude, this is broke and poor behavior. If you're a prosperous, wealthy individual, the $2 is nothing to you. It's nothing to you. And instead of getting water, you go get yourself either one of the fresh drinks that they have, or one of, you know, the lemonade or soda or whatever, right? And I'm gonna have to agree with him. This is broke behavior. You cannot, and you need to stop trying to get something for nothing, and start thinking that things are expensive. You need to play with numbers so you could cultivate and start to view the smaller numbers as little, like nothing to you. Like, you need to view $100,000 like nothing, $1,000 like nothing. You need to play with big numbers so then you can start to have a prosperous consciousness, right? And make sure that you don't go for the cheapest things, right? Sometimes the cheapest things aren't always the best things. Now, I'm not telling you guys to go over your means, because that's not necessary. Sometimes the best things are in the middle, not too pricey but not cheap where the quality is garbage. This is personal preference, right? So so that's just something to keep in mind, and understand that you cannot be thinking like a poor and broke person, right? You need to start having trust in the universe and in your income, right? That all your meet all your financial needs will be met. And this is something that I've been practicing, right? Because it's new. This is new information for all of us, because we're not taught this. We're not taught that we live in a prosperous abundance world, right? And depending on how you were raised, you might think that being poor and broke is the norm to you, probably. And this is why it is so important for you to keep on studying and study and study and learn how money, the universe works, so that way you can work with the universal laws, so that way life can be much more easier to you, right? And we could play with reality in a sense, right? So now, I'm not telling you guys to do this, but a lot of a lot of wealthy financial people actually give things. They donate to charities. They they just donate, right? So I'm not telling you guys to do this. I need you guys to do your guys' own research, right? Don't just take my word for it. Do your own research and research this. Now, there is a giving, right? This is another thing, right? If you want things in your life, you gotta learn how to give. You can't just be taking, right? You gotta learn how to give. Become a giver, not just a taker, right? And when you balance and you also need to learn how to be a good receiver as well, because sometimes people may give you things and you may not be a good receiver and you might reject it. Now, now, I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story, right? So someone called me to go pick something up, and it was a family member, right? And to go take it to them because they forgot it, right? They forgot something for work, so I needed to go drive like 40 hours, right? And it was early in the morning too. And then, I wasn't expecting anything, but he gave me money and I took it, right? You gotta learn how to take, and you gotta learn how to receive. That's a better word. Receive, not take. You gotta learn how to receive. He gave me the money. Now, what would have happened if I would have rejected the money? That would have been not good, because subconsciously, that's telling my subconscious mind and the universe that I don't want it. dude, if someone gives you something, take it and be appreciated for that gift, because it's from the universe, it's from God. So now actions, right? Actions. This is something that I have to master as well. We can't just be thinking, sitting, and just thinking and feeling good. I mean, we could, but there's levels to this, right? So you also need to learn how to take action, right? Inspired action, right? Now, now you need to take action that feels aligned with your inner world. If something is telling you to take action, like me, like I feel good, I'm taking action by making this video, right? This is a form of action. You need to take action as well. Like, stop doing things that are destructive to you. Your actions are going to align you also. So your attitude, thoughts, feelings, and actions. So your habits also as well. And this is how you play with reality, controlling your inner world. And now, when you have a healthy mindset, and you also need to have a strong mindset as well, because sometimes you are your own worst enemy. You might want to approach a girl, you might want to start a business, you might want to start something that you always wanted to do, but then there's that inner voice that's that's telling you negative things like, oh, who do you think you are, or you always failed, or some like negative things, right? And this can hold you back if you're not aware of that negative inner voice, that negative programming that you have within. And from my knowledge, from my knowing, I believe this is the paradigm, right? Where your paradigm does not want you to change. So it will want you, it will make you stay stuck, and it doesn't want you to change your paradigm. This is your comfort zone where you're comfortable, right? And you need to do a lot of work on your mindset so you could overcome this negative paradigm, because it will stop you from your growth, it will stop you from taking action, and this will lead you to procrastinate and never really take action on your dreams or your passions or your social life. You might think that you're timid, but because you have the thought that you are shy and timid, right? And now, dude, this, I love talking about this, because now here comes the self-image part. This is also your self-image, how you view yourself. If you view yourself as someone that just sucks, who's a loser, bro, you have a poor self-image, and your self-image will keep you stuck with your paradigm. Like, personal development is such, there's so much in in depth in depth information that we could just talk about this all day, all day. It's such a beautiful thing once you start to study it, and then you start to understand how other books connect, right? And guess what? All these books are trying to get you to realize that you're the only problem and you're the only solution that you will ever have in your life. And once you start to cultivate a better mindset, a better self image, and once you break this paradigm that keeps you stuck, you can do this over and over and over again, because now you've expanded your comfort zone. You got out of your comfort zone, and then you get into a new comfort zone, and this is where you start to break and then have bigger goals. And it continues, right? It's a lifelong thing. So don't worry if you don't get it. And this is the important part, right? Where you have to con- continue to study and be dedicated to reading books every single day and listening to audiobooks, YouTube videos that are helpful, that are adding value to you, and as well for you to start expanding and start to realize that you need to, in order for you to have a fulfilling life in this lifetime, you must figure out a way for you to contribute something into this world, to humanity. Because I did make a video last week, right, talking about how self-improvement is a double-edged sword, right? Because it could either make you a selfish individual, which is only me, I'm only doing things for me. But once you realize that is not going to bring you fulfillment, and then you start to maybe come to your purpose, right? Where you want to do something good for humanity. You want to do your part to serve humanity, not just yourself, but serve and make an impact in the world, but not for your ego or for your selfish need, but maybe because that really is what brings you fulfillment, right? It could be inventing something, it could be anything really, but you will try to figure out a way for you to contribute something to humanity. And that's the beautiful part. It could be energy work, it could be making ASMR videos, it could be your passion, it could be anything that you're passionate about, and you could contribute that to the world to make it a better place. Hey, dude, these people who make ASMR videos, I've clicked on their channel and they've been doing this consistently for 10 plus years, and from my understanding they must love doing this because they're doing something for humanity, and they know that humans enjoy their creation, their content. These ASMR creators are actually serving humanity in a way. So like, and also in my opinion, the more that I looked in the more that I looked into ASMR, the more I realized that you need to have a creative edge, because those people are so creative with the material that they come out with. I'm just like, whoa, how do they even come out with this stuff? And plus, they are talking to a camera like you're the actual person, and it makes like, dude, these ASMR creators, they got talent. But back to what I was saying, right? Look, here's some ASMR for you guys. Wait, my mic is right here. So just, yeah, guys. Now your attitude, right? Thoughts, feelings, and actions. Understand that the more better of an attitude that you have, the more life, the more people will respond better to you. And you need to fix your attitude in your social skills, your attitude towards yourself, towards your job. Oh, here's the most important part, guys. Here's the most important part. So if you guys are working a job that you guys don't like, you guys need to change your attitude about your job and do your job as best as you can, right? You could say, F this, I'm gonna do the bare minimum and just show up and get my check, right? But now, guys, if you been in self-development for a couple of years, maybe you may have come to this famous quote, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you half-ass your job, you're cultivating a bad habit. You need to do your best in everything, so that way doing your best in everything is just who you are, right? You just, everything that you touch turns to gold. Now when you cultivate this habit, everything that you do is effortless, and your best will show because you're the individual. Now here comes the self-image part, right? Because now you see yourself as this individual that respects the grind, who who's like, hey, I'm gonna do whatever it takes, even if it's this job that I don't like. I'm gonna do it to the best that I can, exceed the expectations of these people. And now once you start to do this, now you're gonna become a big fish in a little pond. And now if you're so deep into self-development, you're gonna realize that, oh, you've outgrown your environment, you've outgrown these people that you're around, oh, you've outgrown your friends. Now you're a big fish in a little pond. Now you need to find a bigger pond where people are working way more harder than you, way more harder than you think. And now it's another level, right? So everyone is at different levels. You need to understand that everybody is at different levels. And no matter at what level that you're at, you could still add value to anybody. To fitness, people who want to learn how to, let's say, farm, or, you know, or maybe boxing. If you're a boxer, you could teach people how to play an instrument. it's up to you, man. So, like I was saying, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So, make sure if you're working a job that you do not like, you guys need to make sure that you do it to the best of your ability, even though you don't like it. Now, when you do this, you will have pride and respect for yourself. You'll have pride and respect for yourself when you do this. When you half-ass it and you don't do the best, bro, you're gonna probably not make results in the gym. You're gonna be slacking in a lot of other areas if you don't time, if you don't get your attitude correct, your mindset correct, because there's levels to this. Now, guys, this is how you play with reality, is by controlling your inner state. You need to understand that the outer world is a reflection from within. And you also need to understand that even though that you don't like your present reality and your life, right? If you don't like your life, if you don't like your present reality, and you choose to focus on negativity, you will start to complain and you will start to view life in a different lens. You may start to feel like, oh, everything's so meaningless. And you'll just start to just go down this deep negative spiral, guys. And you guys must understand that you need to control your inner world, your attitude. You need to control it. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the little things that the world gives you, for people give you, guys. Be grateful for the food that your parents made you. Be grateful that you have a roof over your head. Be grateful that for all the things that you went through, because they made you a better, stronger, wiser version than before. Understand that the things are happening for your character development. You need to have humility, right? Never, never, and I learned this by David Goggins, never feel like you're too big for the little things, and understand that your job is something little, right? And if God were to give you a big opportunity, just hand it to you, right? You probably won't do good in the big things, right? So understand that wherever you are in your present life is preparing you for the big things, and make sure that you do the little things as best as you can, because that will prepare you for the big things in life.